Go put my microphone on. That'll do a good start. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. I'm glad that you are here for today's episode of Mark Gone Wild. No, it's not Mark Gone Wild. It is a bugbear that's been bugging me for quite some time now. And I think people need to hear this, and I think people need to understand what's going on, and I think people need to learn how to not just the characteristics of a professional photographer, but the expectation of what is a professional photographer in 2024, because it's changed a lot over the years, and it's definitely time to realign the stars and the expectation. And I thought, what is the best way to do this? Why not do it on a Facebook Live with everybody? Because you know how much I love doing things live. So if you can hear me and you're in the chat, say hello. Let's see who's here. Want to just make sure that we are all good to go. Now, I also have put in the comments the 6 different areas that we're actually talking about today. So it's one of those things where that's what we're going to talk through. So feel free to hang around. Feel free to grab a cup of coffee. Feel free to grab a notepad. We're going to jump on this. It will be a conversation. I will be asking you questions. I will be saying, what do you think about this? Write in your comments. So please, when I say that, please write in your comments, because my opinion is my opinion, and we want to hear from the rest of the community, and let's see if we are on the same page. So I'll try to be here, I don't know, it might be 20 minutes, it might be half an hour, hopefully not longer than half an hour, because people have got shit to do. But I just want to say hello to all those people that said hello as well. That is awesome. Quick check-in, wait, coffee. Yes, Mel, go get a coffee. You're gonna need it. This is gonna be fun. All right, so first of all, just to set the expectation, please know that after working 20 years of being a professional photographer and working with photographers all around the world, my heart is here to serve the people, and it's good intention, and it's just an expectation, and it's a visual thing that we're seeing around a lot, okay? So what I do want to say to start with is that what is the characteristics of a professional photographer in 2024? Now, a lot of you wrote on the comments, ABN, insurance, and all those things. That's the obvious stuff. You could have written that 20 years ago. I'm just going to quickly cut and paste in all the characteristics, because it's not even about the characteristics, it's about the expectation. This should be normal, right? I'm cutting and pasting in the chat. All of these are the characteristics of a good professional photographer. There's connection, there's trust, approachable, professionalism, reliable, customer service, makes it process free, process easy, stress free, someone who said that they'll do what they do, proof they can get the job done, quality, ethical, good manners, genuine, punctual, helpful, all those different things. That's just normal, right? That's just a given. I don't have to teach on that. You guys should know all of that, all right? But there's a few things that have changed. Now, I'm going to pre-frame this for everyone, because someone did point this out yesterday, and I just want to check in and check myself at the same time. I'm aware that this may come across as a sexist male thing, telling a dominated female profession, there's a lot of males here, but a dominated female profession of what's expected of them. Now, the reason why I say this, right? The reason why I say it is that there is a lot of, how do I put it? There is a lot of photography groups and women in education and women teaching women, and then there's a lot of women who would open a can of whoop ass just like me, but there's a lot of people who are like, it's okay to, just do what you can do to get by, which is fine. I get that. Just do what you can do to get by, and it's okay to do the minimum to get what is done, because that's how much time you have up your sleeve. Like, I get that. I totally get that, and I'm going to cover that afterwards. but I do understand that this could come across quite like aggressive at the same time. So hear my heart, it's not about the aggressive between male and female and male telling each other what we should and shouldn't do. I swear, if a Tanner was here, who's from the Gold Coast, Winnie and Minnie, she would bring the rain and she'd swear at all of you and tell you all to lift your game. But we all love Tanner. That's another conversation. But just hear my heart when I go through this, that it's not a male-female, but you don't understand, I don't understand. It is for the good of the industry. Are we okay with that? Is that okay to say in the comments? Just, are you good? Like, I'm on your team. I don't care where you're from or what your background is or what sets you are or where you are in the world. This is just a general photography expectation and characteristics. Yes, one person. Awesome, good start. Okay, first of all, I understand that the development of a photographer going from hobby to photographer to professional photographer, and does that matter? Yes, it does matter. Because as a hobbyist, you're just learning out, and a lot of us learnt the same way. You picked up a camera, you photographed a family, you photographed the wedding, you went to an event, someone said your photos are great, then you photographed someone else, and then boom, you're already a photographer and now you're charging money. And that's fine, because that's the development of a professional photographer. That's the development of a photographer, from hobby to photographer. The issue is, and this is my bugbear, this is where I get started, is that we stop there. We stop at the photographer part, and you're a photographer, and you're not quite a professional service, you're just a really good photographer. Now, if you're a great photographer, you've got all of your fundamentals with your craft and skills of being a great photographer. And this is where probably 80% of the professional photography industry actually sit in the realm of photographer. All right. So then what's the difference between being a photographer and a professional photographer? I would put it like this way, right? What's the difference between fast food, buying a burger at McDonald's for $5, going to Grilled for $10, at a bistro for $20, and then going to a restaurant and you pay $35, right? What's the difference between my daughter, who was the school swim champion for her year? It was because there's no other swimmers in her grade. No one else trained. So she was the swim school champion for her year level. So she went to the regionals and she swam there and she came dead last. Why did she come dead last? Because she doesn't train. She was tired. She gave it a crack. But I said to her, I said, honey, I said, you don't. She's like, oh, I'm so upset I came last. I'm like, these girls swim 5 times a week. They're almost considered, getting into that professional swimming. They're training. They're at an age where they're training to grow and be better. You've just got natural talent, and natural talent's only going to take you so far. Which leads me into being a photographer and photographing families on a regular basis is only going to get you so far. How come other photographers are getting higher sales and you're not? Because you're just being the photographer taking pretty photos, but you're not delivering on product and service. How come other photographers can get a $10,000 sale and you can't? Because with your current process and doing files only and just doing what you do is not going to grow into anything more, because you're just being in that photographer space. Am I making sense? Can you hear me here? So being a photographer, you might have social media, you might have a website, you've got great photos, and what you generally do is do digital files only. It's a digital files only space. Now the problem is, if there's say 10,000 photographers doing digital, okay, let's not get kind of crazy here. Question, write in the comments. Let's just kind of define this. If there's 100 photographers in your local area who are photographers on the website, social media, I'm a photographer, in a mum's group, I'm a photographer. How many of those photographers out of those 100 photographers are doing just a digital only package files only, all inclusive, just their files? Out of 100, how many are doing just files only? Christy Power, 95. Yep. Lol. 100, 99, 98. 99. Come on, there's 33 people here. What else have we got? 95. Too many in my area. 99. Okay, so this is where we're going into. So what's the difference? What's the expectation of a photographer versus being a professional photographer? Like, what are some of the things that make them being a professional photographer? Now, I'm going to cut and paste a list because I've got another one here of what I prepared earlier, right? What they do is now again, this is my opinion, as a professional photographer, you wouldn't go to a 5-star restaurant and order a steak or order a meal and it not be dressed beautifully and presented amazingly. What I find, and this is the thing here, being a photographer and doing digital files only, does it have its place in the photography industry? Yes, it does. Are there a lot of amazing photographers around the world who just do digital files? Yes, there are. But in my heart of heart, that's where the butt stops, because those images are only going to go on Facebook, social media, Instagram, and on your phone. It's one of the things that is separating. So here's my key point: Professional Photography Business Network. How do you separate yourself from the other 99 people out there? And how do you do that is by having finished artwork, having high-level retouching, being able to do interior design, because let's be honest, when you're talking to clients, they need to choose the right image and have the right clothing in the right frame, in the right style to suit their home and design. And if you don't know what their home and design is because you're not asking questions in your pre-shoot questionnaire and you're shooting for yourself and all you're doing is doing something pretty because you think it's nice, when it goes in their home, it's going to look terrible. Our house is full of blues and aquas and purples and pinks and pastel colors. That's just our house. If we have something red or orange, it's going to look crap in the house. I don't care how much you pay for it. It's like buying a couch. You could get the perfect couch in the wrong color and it looks ridiculous. So all these little points are going to make a difference. Full service. Now, you need to be able to sit down with your clients and choose the images with them. Choose the finished artwork. Now, if you don't want to sit down with them, that's fine. You can do it over Zoom. But be professional and have a product guide that they can go through and they can pick and choose their artwork. There's photographers out there, and there's a lot more in the States and in Australia, that actually, Julie Callagher is a perfect example from America. And there's a photographer here that I won't say who it was. Their service is, I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to look at your walls. I'm going to measure it up. I'm going to look at your interior design. I'm going to look at your style. I'm going to look at your personality. I'm going to help create these amazing images for you. Come into the studio or location. We do the photo shoot. Then we're going to go back to the studio or their home. We're going to pick and choose their artwork, and then I'm going to get it printed, and it's going to be custom made, and it's going to have a 75-year guarantee, and I'm going to get it hung for you in your house. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to pay me $12,000 for that privilege, and the client goes, sure thing. Worth every cent. This is the part that's crazy, and the simple thing that photographers these days, if they're just doing digital files only in online galleries, there's so many of them that I work with that don't understand simple composition, simple album design, what image goes in what spot, simple things of how the album is even laid out in the first place, why you don't mix black and white and color, why you have a family page, then a kids page, then dad's page, then mum's page, then the family page, and then the kids page, and then you mix it up, and then the mum and dad page, because it tells a story. And there's a lot of photographers that don't even know how to even create an album or to tell a story. Even on the weddings. I've got heaps of albums I can show, but I won't do it. Like, do you get what I'm saying here? Am I making sense? Like, it's one of those things, it's like, how do you separate yourself in a world of a saturated market, which has been saturated since the 2000s? Everyone that you could say has been saturated. How do you differentiate yourself from everybody else? And I haven't even got started on what's a race to the bottom in photography education and the unsolicited advice on social media and all the BS that's behind it. I'm going to get to that very, very soon. But this is the part, right? What can we do? Is there a difference, and does it even matter? There's my question for you. With everything I'm saying, does it even matter? Talk to me. Talk to me. Now, as you're writing your comments, please talk to me. Digital files is not a dirty word. There's plenty of professional photographers out there who are charging accordingly, and their work is beautiful. It's beautiful work. And it's okay. And they work full-time professionally. And they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. But are they giving a professional service at the end? In my heart of hearts, I would say no. But some photographers who want to do digital files only, that's fine. But if you're one of those photographers that does digital files only and you just want to stay in that realm, then that's fine. You're going to be compared with the 99 people. PBBN photographers, if you want to stand out from the crowd, at least offer product. 50% might do files only, 50% do files and products. The fact that you are actually offering a service. Just because you go to a 5-star restaurant, it doesn't mean you get the wine at the start, plus the 2 entrees, plus the main, plus the dessert, plus a wine in between, and you have that dessert wine pour at the end. You don't have to have the full experience, but I tell you what, they offer it. I can tell you now that me and my wife went to Aria restaurant for our anniversary a while ago in Brisbane. We had a $300 meal. Who does that? But we got everything. If they offered it, we were like, absolutely. It's like, why not? So the question is, so I'm reading, it's also experience they provide to, yeah, all those different things. No one else is saying stuff. Everyone's going very quiet here. I want to ask the question I asked just before, and I want your answer. Is what I'm saying making sense, and really does it matter? Does it matter to do finished artwork, high-level retouching, be interior design, full service, understand composition, design, style, having print collateral, being a photographer? What else is there that you could stand out from the crowd to say that I'm a professional photographer? I give that level of service. What else is there? It's using ProSelect. It's using Fundy. It's using PicTime. It's using the programs we have available to us. It's delivering it to their door. It's hanging it up. It's making a difference. All right. Let's move on. I'm going to go to, what are we going to? Point number 5, race to the bottom for photographers and educators. Race to the bottom for photographers and educators. However, the first major step seems to be climbing the mountain. Yes, okay, so Tracy, I'm okay with that. I'm cool with that. We go from hobby, which is awesome, right? We go to photographer, but when we're a photographer producing beautiful artwork and beautiful images and create amazing stuff, just don't stop there. Speak to your labs. Speak to other photographers in the industry that do specialize finished product and service and things. If you don't understand Fundy, ProSelect, PicTime, in-person sales, Zooms, if you don't understand those things, the Professional Photography Business Network is full of them. There's 380 of us that do this level of customer service, and they're the ones like Tanner in Brisbane, who's pulling in $400,000 a year working at the front of her bedroom. Katrina Chris has an $8,000 average photographing on a white sheet in her garage, in her house in Brisbane. Marae Cecile is making $10,000 plus sales in a studio smaller than what we're standing in right now. Why? Because they offer it. Because it's a service. And clients say yes. And it's great. So, quick question in the chat box, yes or no? Can you get a $10,000 sale from a client with the current product, price list, and service that you offer? Yes or no? Can you make a $10,000 sale? In other words, a $10,000 sale might look like, I will have an album with a wall collection and a portrait box. I'll have a Gallery 9 plus a wall collection and an album. Can you even make a $10,000 sale? That's my question for you. Out of the 33 people, we have 2 people. Yes, yep. Definitely makes sense, not all, both. Clients still love it. 3 of you can make a $10,000 sale. The other 30 of you really need to have a conversation with me. Erica, maybe, of course you can. You could if someone brought everything. Well, no, but I've never thought that way. Christy Power, you could. Your price list is set up like that. I'm talking someone's buying everything. All right, moving on. Race to the bottom for photographers and educators. Oh my gosh, this is, if you want to see my blood boil, this is one of those. Right behind unsolicited advice from whatever. Anyway, let me get the whiteboard out. This is what happens. I'm going to use Callie Brown as an example because Callie Brown's a rock star and we don't mess with Callie. So if Callie, if you're on this call or you get tagged into it or you see it, then here it comes. Whiteboard. Race to the bottom. All right. I learnt from Callie Brown. Callie Brown has an average of $2,000. I've done her courses. I've got her workflow. I've got her information. I've got the thing. But I'm not Callie Brown and I can't compete with Callie. So I'm going to charge $1,500 for exactly the same pose and exactly the same thing. And then someone else in your local area, they don't know about Callie Brown yet. They just see you producing amazing artwork at $1,500. So then they go, do you know what? I'm going to do that educator's course because that educator has decided to go out and teach exactly what Callie's taught. Me and Callie talked about this the other day. So if she's charging $1,500, I'm definitely not as good as her. I'm going to charge $1,000. And this is what happened just the other day. It's ridiculous. This person learnt from Callie. Callie's a rock star. She taught herself. And then she's taught this person, and then this person is the one who's sprucing the workshops going, I've learnt this process, and now there's someone charging $750 for the same thing that's being taught down the line. And this has been going on for ages. And what happens? You're just on a race to the bottom. And what happens? The quality drops time and time again. And it drives me bonkers. Does people get what I'm saying here? Everyone's a race to the bottom still. Oh, I'm not as good as that, and I can't charge that person. I'm just going to be a little bit less. They're just undercutting. Or I can't do that. I'm just going to charge a little bit less. And then I'm going to charge a little bit less. And then do you know what? This person here is the one who's telling all the other 99 photographers, it's okay. I only make $1,000. So therefore, if I can only make $1,000, you won't be able to make $2,000. Just do it the same as me because it's quick and it's easy and I don't have to do all this level of service and I can just get people through the door. And you know what? You don't have to even charge $1,000. Let's just charge, $600. And if you do 2 shoots a week, That's awesome. You do you. That's really cool. And then you got 99 people, like we said at the very start, who are photographers getting taught by this person who has elevated themselves on social media and telling everyone how awesome they are and how they're like, look at me, I'm a photographer. They're teaching 99 people, they're teaching the rest of the industry, that bare minimum is good enough. That bare minimum is okay. That bare minimum, you don't have to, just do files. Just give them 10, 20, 40 files. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to sell products. Products are too confusing. Products are too hard. Like, it costs you money and you don't want to spend money on things that aren't going to make you more money. So just do the bare minimum, and because it's cheap, this is the best part. Because it's only, between $600, $500 and $1,000, marketing's so much easier because it's cheap. And Nick Yonas wrote it perfectly before. And this is the issue that we have. Is anyone agreeing with me here? Write in the comments. This is the issue we have. Then we have clients. Who are clients? Clients are going to be green. Then clients come in and they book these people, right? They get dismal product, dismal service, dismal quality, dismal everything. And because it's dismal, they then go, I got taught from this person. And this person goes, but they got taught from this person. But they got taught from... But Kelly Brown, we had this conversation. Kelly was like, she gets pulled into everything. But that's the way that Kelly Brown does it. Well, who did you learn from? I didn't learn from Kelly. I learned from someone that learned from Kelly, that learned from someone else that learned from Kelly. And that person told me that the other person told them, and they taught this. And then, because that's what Kelly does. Am I making sense? Can someone please have some comments? Agree, disagree? Do you see this happening in the industry often? Anybody? I see it all the frickin' time. Unsolicited advice. And do you know what the scary part is? This is on my second part to unsolicited advice and who you don't know who you're going to listen to. These people, I'm going to go blue. These people, these ones at $1,000, guess what they do? I got to use the black, so I'm blacklist them. These people at $1,000, guess what they do? They contact me. So they DM me, Mark, I'm trying to run a business. I'm burnt out. I'm struggling on what I'm doing. I'm struggling on what the process is. I need to earn more money. I need to do this. Help me out. I'm trying to do something. They DM me, and then next week, they're over here on social media going, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Now, Natasha, yes, I don't teach on business. I teach my art. That's fine. I'm not having this conversation about you, Natasha. So I'm saying it loud and clear. This is not about you. You're a tighter that's earned its stripes. You're amazing at what you do. I love what you do. Your photography is blown away. It's amazing, and you're a rock star at it. I'm not talking about you. Just be super clear. But what happens, they DM me, right? And then what happens, they're on social media going, look at me, I'm awesome, come and learn from me, do my coaching. I've got one example, all right? This one example of, and it's a dude, for those girls that are like, oh, she's not talking about me. This one example of a guy reaches out to me about a year ago and goes, I want to grow my social media and I want to grow my social media and I want to be an influencer. I wrote back and I went, look, I'm not a big social media guy. There's probably someone else that can help you out, but good luck. I'm not the social media. I'm not a TikTok, Instagram specialist, Facebook specialist. I'm not that person. That person has grown a following well into the 100,000s. That person has really elevated their brand beautifully. They've done it really well. Now, people that I know exceptionally well has reached out to that person because they don't know that he was at 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 followers is now at 100, 200,000 followers, and organize booking a call with this person, and then this person goes, like the well-experienced photographer books a call with this person, and this person looks at the well-experienced photographer and just went, I can't help you. And it's like, well, aren't you? You've been every reel and social media and post. You've been sprucing. This is how you do all this stuff, and now you're saying you can't help me. He's like, yeah, no, I can't help you. Not even advice. Not even looking at data. Not even. There's no substance. It's like a house built on sand. He just fell over without even having a conversation. It was embarrassing. And this is the part. So here's my question for you. If there's unsolicited advice everywhere, how do you know who's doing the real stuff and who's talking bullshit? There's a question for you. How do you know that you're learning from someone, the Kelly Browns, the Sue Bryces, the Meaden Diparetto, the Peter Hurleys, the Gary V's, the Gary Hughes, the Mark Rosettos, the Tanner Basells, the Katrina Chris, the Joel Dunns, the ones who's a tiger that's earned their stripes? How do you differentiate between them and the ones that are just copying themselves on social media? Ask to see the profit and loss. Brennan, how do you stop the shit though? And this is the argument. I had a conversation with a bunch of photographers yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I could put 100,000 followers on my social media account and pay a couple of $100, $1,000, and you're there. But go and people probably wouldn't even realize. Yes, you could look at engagement and look at the other platforms, but people don't even do that. So maybe that's the red flag. How do you know? Look at their other social media. If they've got 100,000, 50,000 on Facebook, but 0 on TikTok, maybe they just don't go on TikTok though. This is the hard part. How do you figure out who's talking BS and who's around? No one else is saying it. How do you stop the shit though, Mark? I don't know. This is the thing. I don't know. Here's my take on how do you stop it, and here's my take on how to do the red flag. It's a bit of a who knows who in the industry. People know who knows who. People know if you've been around for a long time or a short time. People know if you're talking shit or if you're the real deal. Due diligence, before you're parting with your money. Absolutely, Erica. Ask questions. Are they a part of, whether it be a PBBN or another SWPP or PPA? Have they been a tiger that's earned their stripes? Have they got the accreditations if you're looking at the award stuff, if that's the kind of stuff they want to look at? Does the awards even matter? Most of the time, it doesn't even matter anymore. So how do you figure out this stuff? And it's tough, and it's hard, and it's confusing. All right? But I guess the reason for the Facebook Live is like, what are the characteristics and expectations of a professional photographer? I understand the development between a hobby to photographer to professional photographer. In my eyes, a professional photographer is someone who is going to do a 5-star restaurant style where they lay it out for you, opposed to going to a bistro, right? That's in my heart, right? The race to the bottom of photographers is just photographers undercutting, and then the educators are learning from people who are not even learning from the right people, and they're doing their own thing, and then they're selling it off as their own. But the hard part is they're selling it off that it's okay to be mediocre. It's okay to go for the quick wins. It's okay to be simplified. Guess what's going to happen next time? There's another level here. We're going to be down to $400 soon. And then it's going to be okay to do that. I don't think it's okay. And exactly, Claire. I love this. I don't think this bothers me as much. I just stick to my lane and service my clients. Keep out of the Facebook groups. Absolutely. And focus on business. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I guess to kind of like the roller coaster of this, there's a lot of unsolicited advice everywhere and who's listening to who. So let's just get really practical for just this last bit, and then I promise I'm going to leave. All right? I promise I'll go, but I want your involvement. I want some help here. my last point, which is point 6, what are some of the steps that you can take to elevate your photography, your business, got hit ups, your photography, your business, your brand, and be more professional? Let's get practical. I've just done a whole rant of all of this. Let's get practical. All right, so I'm going to cut and paste this question in the chat so we can have it as a bit of a full stop. And Claire, it definitely starts with that. Don't worry about everybody else. Focus on yourself and keep servicing your clients. Stay out of the Facebook groups and don't get distracted by shiny things, and focus on your business. That is an awesome step. My steps would be to, okay, so here's a quick, there's other questions I wanted to ask, but yeah, anyway. I will ask this. Here's a question for you, right? Just to see who's who in the... No, you don't need to, because it'll point people out. If you are listening to this and your hobby, welcome to the team. Welcome to PBBN. If you're listening to this and you're a photographer, but you feel that you're not in that professional photography, full service, finished artwork, composition, lighting, posing, retouching, design, print collateral, printed material, professional website, professional print, and can get $10,000 sales if they wanted to, or even sell product in the first place. If that's you, if I'm talking to you as a photographer, and Brooke, you were that person 6 months ago. No, 12 months ago. Can't remember how long ago. 12 months ago. You were that photographer. There was an amazing photographer, just didn't have the business structure or the setup to be in that professional space. First thing you need to do, write this down. First thing you need to do, yes, you got to know your craft and your skills. Yes, you got to have a characteristics of a business owner. All right? Yes, you need those two. And these are my top 3 things first, because we're talking about the expectation of what clients see from the outside, right? You need to know your craft, have the skill, be characteristics of being a professional photographer, which is all the trust, connection, professionalism, reliable, good customer service, stress-free, all that type of stuff. Visual from the outside, your website, your socials, your print, all those different things need to be professional. Then, price list. You can't sell products without the right price list. Business model. You can't have a good business model without having a good price list, without having good products. Then, once you've wrapped those 3 up, then put those onto your website and print collateral, because just in case one of your digital file clients wants to buy artwork, you've got them available. Oh, perfect example for this. Emma from Wollongong in New South Wales came to me, and she was a photographer. She booked 100 clients. She was this person. She had not the social media part. She was $1,000, right? For her photography, between $600 and $1,000. And she's like, Mark, I've got 140 people booked in my diary. How do I not stuff it up? You don't need to stuff it up. All you need to do is service these clients as you would, but what we're going to do is create a price and product and a system to showcase finished artwork. And out of those 140 clients you have, some will buy the artwork because it's new and fresh and they hadn't seen it before, and some will stick to digital files because they weren't really coming to you for artwork, and we'll see what happens. Her average sale went from that 750, 800 to like 1,700 to 2,000 mark. Emma Zilli, you're a champion. We didn't change the process of getting clients in the door. We changed the service and the finished product at the end, which therefore she increased her sales dramatically, and now she sold her house and she's traveling around Australia with her family with the profits that she's made over the last 2-3 years. It's one of those things. And I think it comes with time and practice, Jesse. I totally agree. But I guess now that it's on the radar for some people, start moving towards that goal. Start moving towards I want to be a professional photographer. And Brendan, I agree, you can't do any of that unless you know your numbers and stats. You need to have a clear goal. I'm with you with all of that. Like, this is why the business models, products, and price list is so important, that just give your clients an opportunity to love what you do and celebrate it and get it printed and finished and showcase it in their home and be proud of it and say, Mark Rossetto took that photo, it was amazing. My house is full of artwork from 2 or 3 photographers I've been to in the past, because it's just part of our family. It's part of our culture. It's a part of my culture, obviously. So, if you need help, right? If you need help with any of this, if you have any concerns with any of this, if I've pissed anybody off with any of this, if now we've lost followers because of this, if now it's like, yeah, are you talking to me, Mark? I don't know. Come and reach out to me and be like, okay, how do we take what you're doing and just make it better? The whole point of me coaching the PBBN is to be that tide that raises all ships. We want to lift the quality, the standard, the value, the service of the photography industry. We want to set the benchmark. Wherever that benchmark is, we want to set the benchmark of this is what you would expect from a professional photographer in 2024. That's why we're doing this. And for the love of all things my heart screams, if you need help, there's so many of us around. And then you go, where's the unsolicited advice from? And why should Mark's advice be any good than anybody else? Maybe he's got shit and unsolicited advice. Maybe Mark's the one talking bullshit. That's fine. If you feel that way, I'm not your guy. Go to someone else that's going to tap you on the back and give you a hug and go, that's okay, everything's going to be just fine. I did that Facebook Live on Sympathy Mark. It didn't work very well. But it's like, I might not be that guy for you. I'm too straight down the line. If you want someone more straight down the line, then go see Brendan Taylor. We all know how much he loves just to tell it how it is. You might need someone that needs to just hold your hand and just walk you through softly and kindly. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Whatever you do, just keep moving forward. Just treat yourself like a professional. Act like a professional. Treat your industry like a professional industry. And I can tell you now, you're going to go far. And that, my friend, is my wrap up. I hope that helps. That's either pissed people off, or proved it, or makes people think. I don't know what it does, but I just feel so much better. That's off my chest now. So I'm going to start the rest of my day. I'm going to have another coffee. And if anyone needs me, I've literally got today free. The whole day. I've lost my two coaching clients today. One's on a honeymoon and the other one is sick. If you need me, look, if you need me, how's this? Look, 0439552710. That's my number. You call me. That's how approachable I am. I'm not gatekeeping. I'm just like, hey, I'm here to help. Reach out. I think in the professional headspace, this is great. Awesome. All right. I'm out of here. Have an awesome day. I hope this helps a little bit. I hope this kind of resonates with you a little bit. I hope that puts some fire in your belly and gets you passionate about what you're doing, because we have an amazing industry. It's freaking awesome. And don't let anyone take it from you or take it from us. And don't let assholes out there and dumbasses teach anything different than the truth of just be a professional photographer and up your game. Just be awesome. All right, 45 minutes, 44 minutes. I'm out. I'm going to have a coffee. See you soon. Bye.